Good evening, everyone. Leila Taiba, and welcome back to my channel. It is Malta Eurovision Song Contest 2025 week, and tomorrow's the final. So, you know what that means? We have to talk about the final. We are going to be making some predictions live tonight about what's going to happen on tomorrow's final night of MESC. It's been a busy week. We've had two awesome semi-finals. The production was great, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down, and finally, we're going to try to find out who's going to win this 2025 edition. Come and interact with us in the live chat. We will answer your questions. We will interact with you over there. Come and tell us your thoughts. Anything you want to say, just come and use the live chat, and we will interact with you. And of course, come and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, my content is free. Subscribes are free. My content is honest. So come and subscribe to my channel for more of this honest and free content. Okay, I won't be alone today, and I have a local guest. And I'm bringing to the stage local content creator and producer AIDEN COHEN. Leila Taib.
Hello, Leila Taiba. I feel like I'm a spokesperson. I'm ready to handle Isni, like the jury of Malta for Eurovision. Leila Taiba Malta and Europe. Hello, good evening, guys.
Well, hopefully by the end of this, we will find out who you're going to give your 12 points to.
Yes, for sure. I have the mic ready.
Very good. AIDEN, you are obviously a diehard Eurovision fan.
Yeah.
Needless to
um,
say, you watched this week your
yeah, I
first.
did. I did. If I had to give my first thoughts, I think we've upgraded a lot from last year. So huge congratulations to BBS because I felt like there was a very much needed upgrade. I don't like to throw around the word hated a lot, but I hated the production of last year. I think it was really it didn't give the artists any justice. It did, like I felt like there was so much more that could have been done. So I felt like an upgrade was needed, and I'm glad that the upgrade happened. I do have a little bit of problems with some camera work and some production choices that were done from their end, especially as a producer myself. I feel like there were some choices which were made that could have been handled better, but overall I feel like we have seen a much higher level in this year's semifinals than I think even I don't think we've seen this level since like 2016, if I'm being honest, which is
Wow.
great. I feel like, yes, I feel like I'm great. Like I feel like we have Malta Eurovision back. I feel like we're getting it back, which is what we deserve and what we needed, to be honest. So yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
So let's, before we go into our discussion about the finalists, over the two semifinals, we lost 8 acts.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you first, AIDEN. If you had to put into the final one of the acts that we lost, who would it be?
Oh, for sure it would be Kelsey. I gagged. How did she?
Which
I'm
Kelsey?
sorry. Kelsey Bellante.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kelsey Bellante with 365. That's the one I would put in the final. I gagged. How did she not? I'm sorry. I'm so confused. I thought that the performance did. I felt like the type of song that Kelsey had, I definitely think that she could have done much more with the performance. Yes, fine, granted, because it's a girl bop and she could have done much more. But I gagged because only like 4 people from each semifinal were not making it, and I felt like she was for sure in. I
Yeah.
gagged a little. So yes, I definitely put Kelsey in.
I
In
expected her
the
to qualify. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, for sure.
But to be honest, I was never big on the song. So
Really?
I mean, I like it. It's good on Spotify, but I don't know.
Yes. The I think the problem with Kelsey's song was that you needed to have a specific type of performance which can really put it together for Kelsey's song. So and I felt like that was missing. I felt like there were it was kind of a little bit of a mess yesterday. But I think I can say that for also a lot of the other performances this year, and I don't think
Yeah.
for some of them we blame the performers for it. I think sometimes we even have to blame the production. Hence why I said in the beginning why I think there were some production choices which could have worked out better for some of the performances. And we'll delve deeper into that when we talk about the finalists. But
Yeah.
I felt like there were people who made it to the final whose songs were great. But when it came to the live performance, it was messy. And they still made it because the song just had a lot of potential. So I felt like for Kelsey's case, it was going to be the same. But apparently not.
Kelsey needed more than a lipstick trick and a tattoo on her thigh.
Ah, gag. Yes, a little bit.
I
Yeah, a
think
little.
I think I would have put in Drake or me. I mean, I have notes on that performance as well, but by Tuesday I thought the song was pretty good and the staging worked.
I agree logistically. So I actually made a list in every semi-final, and I had my own ranking as to who I think should, and as in my personal ranking, and like who I think, as at least who I want to qualify, like in terms of my ranking. And for semi-final one, I had in 8th place, so like a borderline qualifier, I had Ray. So I definitely thought he was going to make it. And in 11th, which I definitely thought we were saying bye-bye to, was Mark Anthony. But he made it. So I was like, oh, yes. I literally have the list. So I can speak about that. But I
He came
definitely thought
prepared.
we were. Yes, I definitely thought we were losing Mark. I didn't like Dre's song. I think it's very dated. I think it would do well in Eurovision 2014, not 2025. I think it's a very, very dated song, but it was a very weak semi-final, so I thought he was going to make it. I'm not gonna lie. But
I thought he was borderline. Even though I liked the song, I thought he was borderline.
yes.
Okay, we have our friends from Serbia. Hello, Sean. Hello, Aiden.
Hi. Serbia don't have their
Chine
Eurovision song yet.
lookalike?
No.
No, not yet. The Dominic Chine lookalike was robbed.
Who is the Dominic Chine lookalike?
Well, let's see. Let us know, because
I think it's Dre. He does
really?
look a little bit like Dominic Cini, to be honest, if you really think about it. I mean, not that much, but he kind of. He
Dre,
does
if you're
sometimes.
watching this, it's not coming from us.
No, fair.
Okay, 16 finalists. We
Yeah.
can start breaking them down one by one. And one of the standout acts in Tuesday's semi-final was JVF with the song Festa, No Time for Siesta. Obviously, I was in the arena, and this was the biggest cheer, the biggest reaction. And I want to say they could have won the televote, but I'm not sure we'll ever find out. Aiden, what do you think?
I definitely think they won the televote for semi-final one. No questions asked. PBS don't have to release the demographics. They don't have to release how people voted. They definitely won the televote for the first semi-final. It was a very weak semi-final, as I said. I think the only competition that they had, not televoting-wise in general, it was Kristy. And I think they pretty much could have plain sailed. And I know that Kristy is really liked abroad, but I still need to see Maltese people catch on to the Kristy Spiteri. I love the song, by the way, but we'll speak about Kristy in a second. So I definitely think JVF cleared that televote without a shadow of a doubt. I'm sure of it. I'm sure they placed first in that televote. I loved it. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I don't think it should win, because if we send that song to Eurovision, I can 99.9% assure myself that we would not make it to the final. I think it is also a little bit dated in terms of a song. I love the fact that they brought in culture, though I love the fact that they made a whole feast on stage. I love that they brought out that one guy playing, I don't know what instrument that was, but it was really cool. That was so cool. And so I like and I think that was the only performance of the night where I actually was like intrigued and entertained, because I had very high hopes for semi-final one, and it kind of flopped a little bit. But
I think they were really, really good. I
yes.
have notes on the staging, to be honest. I didn't like some of the shots, especially in the beginning when there was that like haphazard camera cutting like between the three of them. I thought it was a bit
Yeah.
messy and unnecessary in my opinion. But it came together, and it's the song that benefited the most from the audience. The audience
Yeah.
literally dressed that song up, and I think we're gonna have that experience again in the final. They are three very well known faces, so I think it does help their televote scores.
Mhm.
And I don't know what running order position they're going at tomorrow. They're starting at tomorrow, but I think this is going to do very well. But I don't think it's gonna win. No.
No, as in, I think it would do great with the televote. So I think a lot of points they'll get a lot of points from the televote, I'm sure. I don't know about the jury. I do think they're gonna place, and I do think that they can be really high up on the scoreboard. I wouldn't cancel out a win for them just because sometimes we've had surprises. It would be very rare, and it's like 99.9% they won't. I'm just not gonna say 100% they're not winning because I never know what to expect from all these people. So to be honest, I'm just gonna keep it there. But I don't think they're winning. No, it's great, but I do feel like even if they do win, we would not be doing that great abroad if we send them. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people abroad would get it. So
Well, I'm not sure we're gonna find out, to be honest, because I think they're gonna do well, but I don't think they're gonna
yeah,
win.
no, I don't think
Um,
so.
moving on. Last night he was announced as the last finalist, and it's a pretty normal thing for Stefan to be announced as the last qualifier. But
Yeah,
the song is called Lab Lab Talk Talk. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is Stefan's best performance ever at MESC. It's his best song ever as well, in my opinion. I'm not saying that because he took my notes, not being ego boosted like that. But I've seen a lot of comments yesterday from people who don't usually like Stefan, and they were converted. They were converted. Again, is this gonna win? I don't think so, but I think Stefan can expect his best position ever at MESC. What do you think, Aiden?
can I be honest? You know what? Even if you don't let me, I'm gonna be honest.
You're so you
I
have to be honest.
I don't think Stefan has the personality to portray the song in any way, shape, or form. I don't think he is adequate for the song. I don't see his personality shining through in the song. I definitely think it's his best song in MESC. Yes, for sure, because also his other songs didn't really like. So I felt like if we really had to like weigh it, I definitely think it's his best song. Having Matt Black as one of the writers in this song really shows how much of a Matt Black flair there is on the song. And I don't feel like Stefan recognizes yet that he is not the same type of artist as Matt Black. As much as he wants to be flamboyant and as much as he wants to be dramatic and as much as he wants to be gay like because the performance and the song is the performance and the song is very gay, and usually I eat it up. I love gay performances. I don't see Stefan portraying this well. I'm so sorry. I really don't. I just don't. I don't know. Even the performance yesterday, it was very questionable. Especially the last part, I really thought he was going to end up in a fucking dance break, and he just moved around. He did a whole 360 in just one slow turn, and that was it. I was like, what? Mm, didn't like that part. Definitely think that the chorus being like a very highly dramatic chorus. It's like it's a bop. When you listen to it, it's a bop, but it's not the right singer for that bop. I'm so sorry.
Wow. It's
I don't
really
really like
interesting. It's really interesting. I thought like he I needed Stefan to tone it down. And I think it was consensus because usually he's very theatrical. And in fact I told him, I think you have an opportunity to surprise people with a toned down performance. So I'm a little bit surprised you think it was still very
that. But I think
there.
he's theatrical from a certain point of view. So I see him serving a good pop song and actually pull it off well. So that's the type of theatrical drama that he serves. And I think that he can pull off well. This type of song is very edgy. It's the type of song which is, it's a pop, but it's a little bit of a dark pop. It's a little bit of a mysterious pop. It's a little bit of like, it's giving dance. It's giving, hey, like, you know what I mean? And I don't think Stefan knows how to portray that. And especially knowing that Matt Black wrote the song, I do genuinely feel like that Matt Black is so wasted as a songwriter on that song, because if he took that song for his own, he would have pulled it off much better than Stefan. And that's what I think. Honestly,
Wow.
Stefan being real.
Well, no one can accuse us of dishonesty on this channel.
No, not at all. I'm sorry. But I mean, I hope he's not offended. He's a great artist, don't get me wrong. But
he's I think I have respect for him because he takes criticism very well.
yeah.
So I think he will take this criticism.
No, as in this genuinely comes from the heart. I mean, I'm not offending him or anything. I just don't think he's the right artist for this song. I mean, I'm a singer as in I used to, because now I'm a little bit cut off from the music industry, and I know that not all songs were made for me. So if you had to give me a really dancey pop, as in I was a pop singer, yes, but if you had to really give me a dancey dance break, I could never do that. I'm not the type of person to do that. I don't know how to do that. So it's the same concept. I feel like he's just not the type of guy for these types of songs.
Yeah, trusting the process.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, whoever's watching, by the way. The live chat is doing well, and keep giving us your thoughts and your questions. And don't forget to subscribe, because limitless content here. Limitless content, as you can see. We can bring in guests like Aiden himself. Kurt Kalea. Back to semi-final 1.
Okay.
I'm going to let you take the lead on this.
I'm going to start. Okay. Okay, so let me just start by saying, when I first saw Kurt Kalea on the semi-finalists list, I was like, oh, okay, he's back. Like, I genuinely thought we were getting, I didn't think we were getting a pop song. I didn't think we were getting something, I didn't think we were getting Miriana's material through Kurt. I didn't think we were getting, a dance. But I was like, oh, I think this is going to be a really great song. And I know how much the Maltese love Kurt because of Musica, because of Blatarf. So I genuinely, when I first saw him on the semi-finalist list, I thought he was going to be a favorite instantly. And then I heard the song. I can't even comment on it because the song is so forgettable. I genuinely, I think you even have to remind me sometimes what the title of the song is. That's how forgettable his song is. I expected so much more from the guy. Not in terms of like dance or anything like that, just like I said, but I expected so much more. He's experienced. He's a guy who knows what's up in the music industry. He's a very, very talented guy. And I expected so much. I think the song is so weak. It's so boring. It's genuinely such a boring song. And it baffles me. To be honest, the one good thing that he does, though, and it is because of his experience, is that when I watch his performance in semi-final 1, even though I do not like the song, and even though I think the song is extremely boring, he knows how to use the stage.
I mean, that you can bring when you have the experience of Kurt Kalea.
Exactly.
If he didn't know how to use the stage, I would be like, sir,
exactly.
Get out.
Exactly.
I actually think the song is lame. The song is so lame. This, it irritates me how the spelling of the Maltese words is being changed. Like,
I don't get it.
In this whole, Free the Maltese, you do not write Aziza and
I don't get it. Is that in Arabic? Like that's
No.
I don't get the why did he write it like that?
I don't know. I think he's trying to be cool. But it
doesn't
work.
So it's giving like dialogue AIDEN type of scenario.
I
like
guess.
how he
I don't know. But dialogue is not even a word. Like he's not butchering anything.
Yes, Levi.
I don't know. I don't get it. And
he knows how to use a stage.
He knows how to use a stage, yes. but he does not know how to choose a Eurovision song, especially coming with the success of Blatarf. I think this is the problem with many artists, not just in Malta. This I need to write a song for Eurovision
Yeah,
mentality needs to
yeah.
die. You need to write a good song, full stop. And if you
And
think
it's
it's good enough to go to Eurovision, submit. But you don't write
yes,
Eurovision. You write
yes,
for yourself. And
yes.
one last thing I was super surprised about, he is probably the biggest name in this lineup. Him and Fabrizio Faniello.
Oh, for sure. No,
And
for sure. I mean,
there was no reaction in the semi-final. When he came in, people clapped because they wanted to clap because they didn't want to be rude, and that's it.
because it's so like I was actually having a conversation about this with my friends like 3 days ago. We were speaking about Aiden, and how, you know, when he's returning to Malta Eurovision and stuff like that. I know Aiden personally, and he does talk to me about Eurovision. I don't think it's his time yet. I definitely think he should wait a little bit more. But regardless, that's not the point. We were speaking about this, and we were like, now this is before the live performances, so it was just studio versions of the songs. And this year, based on studio versions, we have a lot of songs, like, as in they're really good.
We have
Honestly,
options.
we do have options this year. So that's like literally what I told them. If Aiden submitted his latest one, sorry, I think it's called sorry, to Eurovision, regardless of how big his name is, he wouldn't have done well.
Yeah.
That would have been my, and I think it's the same about Kurt. I agree completely with you. I definitely think that we need to stop this mentality that, oh, hey, listen, I have a song, it's in English, because now I think we have the little bit like that kind of argument where if it's in Maltese we put it to Musica Musica, and if it's in English we put it to Eurovision. He was like, it's in English, great, I'll submit it. Babe, you won Malta Eurovision, you won Musica Musica, you are one of the biggest artists that we have in Malta. You've experienced this before, and you are submitting that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. And and even did you see that he's still doing the inverted W dance that he recycled from This Is
Yeah.
the Night? Come
Yes,
on,
yes, 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 yes,
come
yes.
on. Step into
Yes.
2025. Step into 2025.
Yes, yes, yes.
Safe to say, I don't think we'll be seeing Kurt Kalea at Eurovision at least this year.
No, no, not at all. No. Very highly
But
unlikely.
one girl that many people want to see at Eurovision, maybe most of them are foreign, not Maltese. Her name is Kristy Spiteri. And there was a lot of talk about Kristy after the first semi-final. Aiden, I think this is one of your favorites, I have a feeling.
I have a little bit of not a bias, but me and Christy, we go way back. We were actually in a duo. We had a musical duo for like 4 months. And if she's watching this, she would know. And then we did X Factor. We did the same season of X Factor together. We did Junior Eurovision twice together. So me and Christy, we go way back. And when I heard the song, I was amazed. It's amazing. Like first of all, let me start out by saying Christy has an amazing voice, an amazing voice. And I also know that she is a performer, because the season that we did of X Factor, her first live show, which she was eliminated on, which by the way she was robbed, she did a
Weak song
really
choice.
upbeat. Sorry.
Weak song choice.
Yeah. But regardless, I saw her potential as to her being a performer, not just a great vocalist. So when she released the song, I was like, oh, yes. And then the performance came. I don't know if it was a mistake from the production, and I will tell Christy about this because me and her are friends, and we'll talk about this after Eurovision passes. I don't know if it was a production choice. I don't know if it was her choice. I definitely think the song is excellent. The performance is way too poor. I thought she was going to do so much more with that song. So much more. I expected so much more. And to have her just standing on a pedestal for the whole 3 minutes,
Mm.
The vocals were on point. I had no doubt about her serving the vocals. No doubt about it. Her image looks great. The song is great. The performance, in my opinion, and I feel like I'm a little bit of a black sheep against a herd full of white ones here, because I heard a lot of people apparently enjoyed it, especially the foreigners.
No,
I thought that
I think
I
you're
don't know.
the majority.
I was getting different things on my Twitter feed, but I was kind of disappointed with the performance. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think most people were disappointed, to be honest. I didn't mind it. I think it was okay. I love her styling. I love the dress. I didn't think it was that bad. But when you have a performance like this, which is essentially centered in one tile of the stage, we need tight shots. We need tight shots. And I think they could have done something better. By the way, the rehearsals for this were messy, were really messy. If you see the first rehearsal versus the second rehearsal, during the first rehearsal there was no platform. There were Chiara, the one that I love, kind of candle stands. There
Oh
were,
my god.
it was different. It was different. And I heard a little rumor that I'm not sure if you know who Marvin Dietman is. Eurovision fans know who Marvin Dietman is. He staged Elena Zagrinou, Albina, Tea and Salena, um, Andromache. He staged a multitude of Eurovision songs, and apparently he was flown into Malta sometime this week just to fix this staging, and this is the result.
Wait. So he was flown into Malta to fix the staging for the semi-final or for the final?
No, for the semi.
Ah. Because I think the rumor is true, because Tea's one of her songwriters and he staged Tea's performance for Eurovision.
But the thing is, and again, these are just rumors, nothing is confirmed here, but Tea and Marvin don't work together anymore because Tea wasn't satisfied with her Eurovision performance. So
I mean, listen, if we had to speak
I don't know.
about Tea staging for Eurovision, that also was like that also is another case of having a really good song fail miserably because of the staging. Because
Yeah. So yeah,
but
a ton of rumors. I thought it was okay. I just think, you know what, my greatest issue with Kristy, to be honest, is I'm gonna need her personality to shine brighter. I'm gonna need her charisma to shine a bit more, because for people who don't know her, and I don't know Kristy personally, I didn't get to interview her, I didn't get to speak to her yet, but I'm gonna, we're being honest. If I didn't know anything, I would watch the performance and I'd be like, I really like the song, but she really looks like a bitch. Like you know that kind of resting bitch face. I'm sure it's not the
yeah,
case, but that's the impression it gives. And
yeah.
you know, not everyone knows as much as we do in the bubble. So I think she's gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, I get your point. As a person who, as I said in the beginning, we go way back. She's a very sweet girl, an insanely sweet girl. But I think never trust Marvin Dean for staging your song. I agree. I definitely think. I think once you get to know her, your opinion about her will change. But I do agree, because I've seen her interviews for this year's Malta Eurovision, and I think that her personality is not trying, because she's an insanely sweet girl, and she is so like she's so humble and so insanely like. We've hit it off, like we've done 4 days together in judges' houses and X Factor and Sicily together, and we were like this, like we're sitting next to each other on the bus to rehearsals and stuff like that. Like and she's such a funny girl, and I feel like that's not shining through at all through her
Yeah.
interviews. So I think that's the only problem that she has. But I can promise you, as a person who knows her personally, she's such an insanely funny girl and such a humble and down to earth girl. But I do agree that her personality is really not shining through, because I think she's trying to portray this image of like her being professional. But in reality, if you're doing Eurovision, I think the more unprofessional you are, sometimes the better.
You
In
just
my
need to be
opinion.
real. Just be
Exactly.
real and charismatic. I mean,
Exactly.
so many acts, you know, in the past. I can't think of one right now, but the personality really helps to just,
Yeah.
you know, it's free marketing. If you have an amazing personality, use it. It's free marketing.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. The elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Kantera.
Ah.
He's big favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean the elephant in the room because a lot of people will expect us to talk about Miriana Conte. Aiden, I know that Miriana is also one of your friends, so
Yes, Miriana's a very close friend of mine. We recorded some of the episodes for my podcast together. We hang out a lot. I mean, me and Miriana, she's one of my closest friends. So I, of course, will speak with a little bit of a bias naturally,
yeah.
but I will try to be as critical as possible. I heard Kant, which is such a weird thing to say. I heard Kant. It's such a weird thing to say. I heard Kant in August. When we were no, I think we were actually recording one of the episodes for my podcast, and she made me listen to the song, and I was gagged. I was like, oh. Now this was back in August, so I didn't hear. Of course, I didn't hear anyone else's song. I didn't know who was applying. I mean, I just heard her song and that's it. And I was like, oh my God, hello. Like I was gagged and I was like, you know what? This is going to do so well with the foreign people. Like it's not even funny. And I told her, bitch, like not because like I'm your friend and then like I like it's in front of your face or something, but I told her you have a real chance of winning this. Like I'm being so for real. And I told her I didn't even listen to the other songs yet. I think you have a real chance of taking it. Anyways, yeah. Made it to semi-final. I of course had no doubt that she would make it to the semi-final. She spoke to me a lot as well, and I saw the final version of her performance yesterday because I wanted to see like what it looks like on television because I'm gonna be in the arena tomorrow, but I wanted to see what it looks like in television. I will be there supporting her tomorrow though, on the front rows. I think it's fun. I'm sorry. Why are people hating on it? Now, this is not coming from a bias. I think the performance is insanely fun, especially that last part. I don't know why people are hating on that last part. I think it's fun. I think it's camp. I think it's different. I think it's very gay, which Eurovision fans eat up. I absolutely love it. I do think that her vocals were not the best yesterday. Yes, for sure. I definitely think that she was excited. Yes, I definitely think that she was excited. And this is something which I'm not going to tell her now, but I will tell her afterwards that she's listening to this because I don't think she wants me to say that. This to her right now. Yes. But I do think she was excited for sure. But the performance is so fun. Why are people hating on it? I love it. I'm so sorry. Argue with the wall. I love that performance. I think it's so fun and it's so camp. And I think it's perfectly Eurovision. I love it. I just love it.
Okay. I was watching the rehearsals, and the first time I saw this in the press room, I was like, it was messy. It was messy. And even they knew that it was messy. They really tidied it up. And I think last night it looked the best it ever did. Still some things that were unfortunate. For example, in the last scene, one
of the dancer with the dancing ball. Yeah.
But you expect kinds of hiccups with a performance like this. I agree. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. I think it is much improved from the rehearsals, but obviously people didn't see the rehearsals. I think the expectation was so high, and probably that's why the disappointment is there. Because let's face it, I mean, when your expectations are that high, it's so hard to achieve something when there's so much promise. My problem with this, and it has been since day one, I don't like the song so much.
Oh my God, really?
I don't like the song so much.
Wait, what? I'm glad because I think this is the first person I've actually heard that like they don't really like the song that much.
Take away the kant. It's just another pop song.
Yes, but if you really had to weigh it down, like if you really had to think about it, that's what makes it special. So I like the song because of the play on words. So yes, if you take away the kant, it's just another pop song. But the song is great because of like why like I to be honest, I might be biased because I say serving kant a lot, but I don't know. What's another person said I'm not a fan of it. How?
Yeah, Irvin don't like it. Irvin don't like it. It's polarizing. It's polarizing, but I mean, I don't think this song would do as well as people are expecting at Eurovision. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think this will qualify.
But listen, this is an a topic, to be honest,
Oh, it's a favorite.
which not as in I think that we could send quite frankly almost anyone at this point. It's a case of diaspora. It's a case of it doesn't qualifying in Eurovision no longer just means as in like having a good song. It doesn't mean that, especially for us. We as a country, it's very hard for us to qualify. So to be honest, I just think that if we're going to keep competing in Eurovision, I just think that we need to send our best package, and we need to send something which would get the foreigners talking, regardless of if it qualifies or not, or if they vote for it or not. Because I think we just need to put ourselves on the map at least.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Kant's gonna do it because we see a lot of consumption from English speaking, mostly gay Eurovision fans for this song,
Yeah.
and we tend to forget that more than 95% of people who vote on the night are people who did not consume anything before the actual night. And those people aren't necessarily Eurovision fans. Maybe they just sit down and watch. They're not necessarily, young people. So I genuinely can't imagine more than one demographic in countries where people don't speak English as well as they do, maybe in England, in Ireland, in the Netherlands. I can't imagine those people getting it. And
Yeah.
because of the noise, I think this is something that happens very often in Malta. Because of the noise, I think, oh, that's it, Ibana, you know? But we have to be a little bit smart about that. And that's what I keep telling the people in the press room. I'm like, listen, taste is subjective. You can like a song and you can dislike a song, and we can agree to disagree. But some of us know a little bit more than others what's competitive at Eurovision because
Yeah.
we've been here, we've been in these streets long enough. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, lots of people think this will do well at Eurovision. I personally think take the kant away, which mind you, we could go to Eurovision and they take the kant away. Could
Yeah.
happen. But my question for you is, do you think this is gonna win tomorrow?
That puts me really on a spot, which I would. Listen, if I had to say personally, I would say that's my winner 100%. I want it to win, and I want Malta to send Kant to Eurovision without a shadow of a doubt. That is me personally. Analyzing Malta, and this is also in line with your argument. I think this is also a little bit of a fear that I had since I've heard it back in August. I think this is actually one of the things that I told her, I just hope that people get it, especially in Malta. Knowing Maltese people and knowing the Maltese audience, and especially knowing that it's also affected by 50% of the jury. So the jury, there might be a lot of professional jury members which do not get the song, so they wouldn't vote for it because, as you said, if they don't get the play on words, it is just another pop song.
Yeah.
I don't think, realistically and logistically speaking, that Kant will be winning tomorrow, which sucks because I really wanted it to win. But I really would like to believe that it is, because I really want us to send it. I don't know. I think the song has something special. I don't know. Call me biased, but I think the song has something special. But I know the Maltese people. I know that whenever unfortunately, even as in terms of mentality, we are still laid back. So seeing that performance yesterday, which I personally really loved, but not a lot of people loved, I think it also that took her away further. So I don't, unfortunately, think it is winning tomorrow, which sucks for me to say. I'm just trying to be real.
Yeah.
But
Keep real.
I don't think so. It really sucks because until the performances, I really thought she had it. I really thought she was taking it without a shadow of a doubt. But they're still coming, so I'm just gonna speak about stuff later.
Yeah, we're not spoiling it. I think, to be honest, her final nail in the coffin was the running order draw. She's opening the show tomorrow.
Yes.
It's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
But we know that those who won't be opening the show, two of them are Adria Twins. One of the standout acts from the first semi-final as well. Massive cheer, massive reaction in the semi-final. I know them, and they are the most genuine girls they could be, in my opinion. So that really endears me to them as someone who's sitting here and talking about the song. The song, admittedly, the first time I heard the song, it completely passed me by like this. I didn't. It was like a fly, and I didn't see it. The second time I heard it, I was like, hang on a minute. Miriana Conte, Kantera, JVF, Kristy Spiteri. Why is nobody talking about Adria Twins? And I think I'm not the only one who had that experience. This song is beautiful. It's well sung. The lyrics are so meaningful. I got the opportunity to speak to them on Tuesday, and they were so emotional because they dedicated the song to their late father, who passed away not long ago, and they are debutants. These girls are entering the first time. This is only the second song they've ever sung. Amazing. I love the staging. Stephen Levi Vela did an amazing job with this performance, in my opinion. Still not happy with the camera shots. Personally, I think we need tighter crops, especially it's like Kristy, when we have that centerpiece, we need them to be in focus. And they were really nervous on Tuesday. They were really nervous, really emotional, and they did not have their best vocal performance. But I think tomorrow they're going to be ones to watch. What do you think, Aiden?
So I think they were standouts. They weren't really people who they were on my radar. I've met them back in June when I was at the camp, because Alp came out of the songwriting camp.
Yeah.
And I met them at the camp, and I've listened to the song at the camp back in June, and I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing, as in. It at the end of the day, it's a classic emotional song, but I think they really portray it well. And I definitely think they were the standouts of semi-final one. Now, I don't know if it's because the semi-final was weaker, or if it's I think the song is great, don't get me wrong. And they are standouts, but I do think that the semi-final being a little bit weaker than the second semi-final also helped them give the song a little bit more of a push. I think it stood out more than if it were to be in semi-final too. I think it's a great song, honestly. The staging, I like it, but I did have questions about it. But then again, I think it was also because of the production choice, because I might be forgetting like how it happened, but at a point they were split up on those like those stairs.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're together. I don't know what happened there. I was like, that's so confusing, but I don't know what happened. So that was a little confusing, but I think they're great, and I think they will do really, 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 really well with the jury. Really well.
Yeah, I said this on Twitter on Tuesday as well. First of all, the production thing, these things happen at Eurovision. Like sometimes when we need to pan in to not reveal a movement, it can be a little bit confusing. It's a trend in Eurovision stagings these days, and you're not the first one who has commented that it's a little bit like, how did that happen? They had a really difficult time on the second rehearsal because one of the wheels of the stairs broke and they couldn't move that huge prop, and that thing is heavy. Like that thing is heavy, so they couldn't move it. Yeah, panic. Christabel, their mentor, was telling me like they had to literally take a wheel from another place and put it in there. Yeah, crazy things. Crazy. This was Monday, so I think the staging is not to its full potential. Even Stephen told me like the idea was bigger.
The staging idea is there. I think what messed them up the most was production. But this is the same thing about Miriana's performance, to be honest, because one of the highlights of Miriana's staging was her hate comments at the back. Why did none of that show on television? None of that showed none of that. And I was so pissed about it because that is one of the highlights of her staging. And none of that got shown on television. And you've had rehearsals. So you can't tell me this was like, I was so pissed. So this is the same concept. Production-wise, I didn't understand how. I know that they moved because logically, you know that they moved for them to end up together, the two pieces of stairs or whatever they. And I was like, how are we seeing them separately and then all of a sudden they're together? I was like, what? It was confusing.
And we could see the guy who was moving them. Like we could see his face in the.
Yeah. I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it.
I mean, good that you didn't notice it because it's not supposed to be noticed, I guess. But
yeah,
my eyes are everywhere.
This is happening a lot as well. I mean, I've watched both semifinals from home. Now I can't really speak about the final because I'm going to watch it from the arena. But watching it from home, so knowing the camera work and stuff like that, we've had a lot of performances where there were a bunch of camera crew and camera people being shown in the performance. Like it's and this is one of the reasons why I said production wise, like we need to make better choices. We've had most of the performances, like there were very vividly cameramen showing sometimes in the middle of the fucking stage sometimes. Like it was.
Yeah. It's the complex nature of Eurovision production. These things happen at Eurovision as well. They happen at Benidorm Fest. They happen at Melody Festival. And for our international fans, people know that last week's Melody Festival, and a cameraman literally fainted or fell down the stage, and we could literally see nothing for a good 15 seconds. So yeah, I'm not trying to excuse PBS here, but everyone knows I'm very openly critical of some things. Time to embed my Malta sucks at Eurovision video somewhere, which another conversation. But these things are not easy to get down to a T. And I think tomorrow we should have something a bit more smooth.
Cohesive, yeah.
Yeah. Talking of smoothness, though, I think one of the most smooth performances we saw all throughout the week came from last night, and it's Dario Bezzina and Zeppi Mooney. Now, if bias is gonna come into it, here I am. But Aiden, go for it.
Okay, so he wasn't part of the semi-finalists, right? He replaced Alexandra.
Baby Lasagna.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Baby Lasagna type of, except he's not winning Malta Eurovision, so if I had to start out by commenting about the song, I think the song has so much potential. So I feel like when he starts, how do you say it in English? Yanni. I don't know how to say it in English, but when Zeppi
when Zeppi
when Zeppi basically starts singing like traditional
yodeling
yodeling. I think it's amazing because I don't think we've had a lot of that, and I don't think did we ever have that in Eurovision, Malta Eurovision? I don't think so. So that's great because
for as long as I've been alive.
I don't remember it being in Malta Eurovision as well. And then when I heard the studio version, and then Dario comes in, is good for 30 seconds, and then kind of fucks it up. I was kind of bored when I heard the song, and because at first, when I heard the first 15 seconds, I was like, "Why didn't PBS choose this in the first place?" And then I was like,
Yeah.
"You know what? I can actually understand why." Because I feel like it's marketed as Dario Bezzina, but it's Dario Bezzina for most of it, and it
Okay.
sucks.
I see where you're coming from, because the staging doesn't show Zeppi Mooney enough, and I agree. And I spoke to Zeppi about this, and he thinks the same. So definitely some choice moments there. Dario knows I hate those overlays of Zeppi in the chorus. Like it's like we're on Air Atlanta or Turkish Airlines or something, and we're getting
Right.
like images of what we're about to see when we land. I hate them. I think they need to go. And I'm always the kind of person that hates overlays, because if we're on stage, we're on stage. If we're on the music video, we're on the music
We're
video.
in the music
Choose.
video.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the only thing, though. I think this song, this is like one of my favorites. I will never understand why this wasn't chosen in the first place, especially when you see the song that came after it last night. But I'm not gonna mention, because people can make their own conclusions. How how
Sorry.
I'm sorry. How?
Um,
Wow, this is amazing. This is a slice of local flavor done well that we really need, not only at Eurovision, but even at MESC in Malta standards. And I was so happy to see that last night, neck and neck with Miriana Conte, he got the biggest cheer. He got so much clout. People are loving this. I think I think they did very well in the televote. And those last 30 seconds when they come together, and we got the circling camera shot and the pyro, goosebumps.
yeah,
Goosebumps.
yes. I think it was one of the biggest surprises of the night, because when I heard the studio version, I was bored. I'm not gonna lie, I was very bored. But then I saw it live, and I was like, wait, this is actually like this is biggest surprise of the night. Will they win tomorrow? Absolutely not. Far from it. But I think it's a great addition to Malta Eurovision as a live performance. Would I ever listen to its studio version? No, I don't feel like I would ever return to it as a studio version song.
I
Because
want
as
to
I
listen to
said,
nothing else but that.
really, no, as in
But this is very much like anyone who knows me knows that this is the kind of stuff I
yeah.
love Eurovision for.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very traditional, and I think it shows our culture well. And unpopular opinion, and I'm gonna say it. I think it shows our culture much better than Kantera. Sorry to say. Yes, because with all due respect, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut
I'm
up.
not disagreeing with you, by the way.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut up. Dario Bezzina's song was written by people who know Maltese music, who understand Maltese music. He included Anna, which is like the, as in, core of Maltese music. Kantera, usually when I saw them in Musica, they had the Maltese flair on point. But this song that they have in Eurovision, it was mostly not written by Maltese people at all. So they don't understand the flair of, I'm right? Yes, okay.
Linnea Deb.
Yes, because I know this came from the camp, because I also heard the song in the camp back in June. I was like, it's great that they're trying to put but this is not Maltese at all. And I know that a lot of people, even the foreigners, are like, they're bringing Maltese culture to Eurovision, and if they win, they're gonna bring like huge. But to be honest, Kantera's song is honestly not that culturally Maltese, if we're being so for real. But
Much more than anything we've ever sent in the last 10 years.
Last what year is it? 2025? Last 4. Let's say that.
What was
But wait.
Kantera?
Culturally you mean? Oh yes, culturally, yes. But I thought you meant like general quality of a song.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
No, but back to Dario, and we're gonna transition into Kantera. I think this is top 5 tomorrow. I think this should be top 5 tomorrow, unless the screw the ethnic songs up like they know how to. I think this should be top 5.
Yes, it might be. Yes, I see it happening. I'm not gonna lie. They're underdogs, but I see it happening. And to be honest, massive satisfaction for Dario, for him to not even be chosen in the first place and place in top 5. Like,
absolutely,
suck on that, yes.
He deserves it. He's literally the most genuine, welcoming, lovely guy in the contest. Again, I guess I'm a little bit biased because I know him now, but he is fantastic, and I wish him nothing but the best. And if this had to go to Eurovision, I think I would go carcading tomorrow.
You can save the car.
I agree. Zepp is actually doing Anna. Kantera mentions a line about Anna. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I think we already know your thoughts, Aiden, about Kantera. This is my favorite. I said it. This is my favorite, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't disagree about, like, I was confused to see a Kantera song written by Linnea Deb. Linnea Deb has written Heroes by Måns Zelmerlöw. She has written Adrenalina by Zenit. She has written Marcus and Martinus last year. Kantera, lalaratakeke, lalaratakabum stands out in her repertoire. So I'm really, really confused as to how this came to fruition by Linnea Deb. However, I was told by Kevin Lee from Weebly Blogs, who is my press buddy this year at MESC, that she actually did a lot of work on trying to understand writing a song which is culturally faithful to Maltese representation. So, there are always things I don't know. So maybe Linnea actually, maybe she has a hand in this more than we think. I still think that she has a credit for adding something, not necessarily everything, because that's how songwriting credits work these days. You say one word, boom, you get listed.
You get credited, yeah.
But I still think this is the best song in the lineup. I still think it is the best chance for us to really be put on the map at Eurovision. I think this is the song that will get the most televote appeal, and let's remember the semifinals are all televote. And I have to admit, watching the performance back, the staging restricted them a little bit. The staging restricted them a little bit. I think ever since we've known about Kantera, it's potentially their best song ever, but it was their weakest performance ever. And production wasn't, the cameras were everywhere. Claudio from Kantera told me this morning, he said, we're gonna fix things up for the final. So even they are aware that this needs some fixing with the camera work. But I didn't think the staging did them as much justice as they should. And I think if they win, which after seeing their place in the running order tomorrow, they're going in at number 15. I think it's theirs to lose now. But I would love to see them at Eurovision. This is still my number one, but this is the thing with national finals. We need to vote for the song, not necessarily for the staging, because the staging can be fixed. The song, not necessarily. So, and the song is the base product of Eurovision. Lots of people forget this. There's no staging that can save a bad song. There's no marketing that can save a bad song. I'm not saying other songs are bad songs, but let's face it, not everyone knows what a kant is.
Yeah, for sure.
Knows what a kant is.
Yes, for sure. I have mixed opinions about this song, if I'm gonna be so for real. I think that a lot of Maltese people jumped when they saw Kantera just because they were like, we're sending something cultural, we're sending something ethnic, it's Kantera in the lineup. I'm like, okay, bitch, calm down. I heard the song back in June in the camp as well. I was very confused as to how we are listening to a very traditional Maltese song written by foreign people, but that's besides the point. I think but I don't think that's something I necessarily agree with. I've never, not once ever heard the term lalaratakeke, lalaratakabum being used in Malta, in like the feasts and stuff like that. I don't know where they got that from, but I guess if they want to go ahead with it, then they can. But I don't know. I listen to this. Mela, my thoughts are these. I listened to the song back in June.
Quarta.
I listened to the song back in June, and I told that I fully turned around to talk to, I think it was Timea, X Factor season 3 participant. She's also one of my friends, and I told her, Kantera's taking this. The Maltese people are going to love them. The Maltese people eat up Kantera every single time. And after I heard their song, the camp, all of the participants, everyone was like, ah! So I was like, you know what? Kantera's taking it. No competition without a shadow of a doubt. Then Miriana, I heard Miriana's song in August, but I still thought that Kantera was her only kryptonite. Do I still think that they're in the running to win? Yes, for sure. I think they have a very high chance of winning tomorrow. I don't know how I feel about the song, if I'm being so for real. I don't think it's bad, don't get me wrong. So I think it's great, and I think it has potential. But can I go out on a limb and can I say I can solidly say we have 6 better songs than this in Eurovision this year. I'm sorry. I think a lot of people are making a lot of fuss about. Dare I say, as I already said before, after watching the live performances, I prefer Dario's and Zeppi's than Kantera's. I'm being so for real.
I might agree. But I'm literally swapping my number 1 and my number 2 together. Like those 2 songs for me are head and shoulders above everyone else. They're both songs that they are what I like. They're my cup of tea. They are right up my street, and they are what I love about Eurovision. They're both in Maltese, and I have been long in these Eurovision streets preaching that we need to send not only a song in Maltese, but a song of Maltese flavor. And if we can do both together, even better. But
this is the thing. I don't see the Maltese flavor in Kantera's song. I really don't.
I mean, at least it's in Maltese.
Yes, but I mean, you can sing a song in Maltese and have a dance break in it. But that's not a Maltese flavor. Yeah. You're singing in Maltese, yes, but it's not a Maltese flavor. The Maltese flavor, we know what it is. As in, I think people see it as Kantera and as this huge Maltese folklore band. And they're like, oh, whatever Kantera sends, it's Maltese. I don't see any Maltese flavor at all in lalaratakeke, lalaratakabum. And
come on, the dance break. Well, not the dance break, the flute break. Like that's a Maltese instrument. Even most of the instrumental is made up of Maltese instruments.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't know. I think if you really had to speak about Maltese flavor, I would definitely give it to Dario and Zeppi. I don't think Kantera comes close. If I had to speak about Maltese flavor.
If I had to give it to them, they will take it. Okay, so those are mostly the ones that could win. Them and Victoria. I was gonna forget Victoria, one of the biggest successes in the first semi-final as well. And last night I was at the arena. People are still talking about Victoria. Like JVF, okay, we talked about it. Now we'll see it in the final. Adria Twins, same. People are still talking about Victoria. And I have thoughts.
Same.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. First of all, I would like to start out by please, I need to ask Victoria directly this question. What crack did she put in that song? I need to know. Because I have been, ever since the semi-final, I swear to God, all I am doing is just going around everywhere and just randomly singing, they call me June. Like, literally, I'm singing that part like 25 times. It's not even funny. I don't know where it's coming from. Like, every like 30 minutes or so, I'm like, they call me Juno. Oh my God, I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. So let's just get that out of the way. I think the song is great. And honestly, I think it was really underrated before the live performance. But I know people who are working in Victoria's team for Eurovision, and they hyped it up so much to me. They were like, Victoria's gonna do a big performance and she's going to be amazing, and you're not even ready for what Victoria's doing. She will twist, she will turn, she will go upside down, she will bring fire. And I was like, oh my god, like Melashin, like I was very excited for Victoria's performance. And to be honest, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed. I fear. I'm sorry. As in, I definitely think that she did more than other people in the competition. Yes, 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 for sure. I'll give that to her, for sure. But she went upside down on a like on a wheel or whatever that was
Yeah.
twice, and
It's a
then she
moon.
just it's a moon. And then
Did you realize it's a moon?
no, I didn't realize it's a
Me
moon.
neither.
Apparently, it's a moon. She went up and down on it twice. By the way, she was insanely scared. She needs to work on that. She was insanely scared. Her face very clearly showed that she was scared on that moon. Apparently, and she stepped out. She stepped off it. She spent like 10 seconds on that moon, and she stepped off it, and she continued singing as well. And then the
And
song
the moon
finished, and
kept
I was
swinging behind her.
And I was like, that's it. That's the performance that her team was hyping up, like to me, like personally, because I was like, what? That's it. I thought she was going to fucking bring the whole house down, not just fully turn around twice and be like, okay, I'm going down now. I was like, I don't know, maybe because I had a very, very high expectation, because I definitely think that she did more than most of the other. Yes, fine, granted, but I don't know. I kind of feel like people are being like very surprised out of nothing. We've seen this done before many times. I don't know why people are gagging over the performance. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree.
Thank you.
I love the song.
Same. I love it. It's very catchy, and I'm singing it a lot. Don't get me wrong.
I love the song. I don't like the dress.
I like it. I think it's canty. Serving kant.
But it's not a country song.
Yeah,
She literally
that I
says
can
in the
agree
song, I'm not a
with.
fighter.
Yeah.
She literally says it in the song, I'm not a fighter. I mean, it suits her, but it's not the right song for the right moment. Sorry, not the right dress for the right moment, in my opinion. The staging, again, it's hard for me to comment because now I know that this wasn't the full idea. And it's hard for the creative directors to watch this knowing that it wasn't the full idea. But at the same time, this is what we have, and this is what we have to comment on. I think it's good. I think it works to some degree. But, you know, Juno and the moon, okay, I get it. But I didn't know it was a moon. I didn't know. I had to be told it was a moon.
But to be honest, you're saying Juno and the moon, so yes, you can link. I didn't even know Juno was a moon up until now. Juno's a moon, apparently. Like, Juno means moon what?
It's anyone's guess.
Because literally all I think about when someone mentions Juno is Sabrina Carpenter's song. So I failed to to realize how Juno's a moon, and because I know that she was marketing Juno with the moon emoji a lot, because I was like, it has something to do with the moon, I guess, but I don't know. It's very confusing. I mean,
I think Victoria can take from this experience being one of the favorites. She has an amazing song. I love the song. She had the best vocal performance all week, in my opinion. Not a single bum note. The high note was reached effortlessly.
yeah.
And yeah, the staging is entertaining, I guess. I think it's good. I think it's good staging, but I'm not sure it's correct staging. And yeah, for all the hype around that, I think it didn't come to expectations as much as people wanted it to.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think this is going to do well, regardless. Maybe more with the jury than the televote. And we've literally talked about 8 songs that are probably the ones that are gonna aim for those high positions. Doesn't mean these are the top 8.
No,
But on
far
that
from
note,
it.
Victoria, I think those are the ones.
Yeah.
Before I ask you the question, let's go through the other ones very quickly. We have around 10 minutes left. So let's try to give let's do 1 sentence each.
Okay.
Nathan.
Strong song, very weak vocals.
I was in the arena and I thought he sounded fine. I thought he sounded really good, and I told him, "Hey Nathan, wow." Then I watched it back.
I don't know. It's a strong song, but then again, I feel like the strength of the song is just a little forgettable as well. So sorry.
Yeah, he needs to clean up his vocal performance. I think the staging works, but he needs to clean up the vocal performance.
Yeah.
One that some people were surprised to see in the final, Kristy Spiteri.
I got bored. I was so bored during her performance. I feel like everything just, it was lacking a lot of things, and I was so surprised when she made it over Kelsey Bellante. I was so bored. I'm being so real. This is no hate against her. I just feel like the song is not for Eurovision. I feel like she's still very shy and like she's very inexperienced, unfortunately. I don't know. It was just a very boring performance in general. I fully thought she was out with no questions asked, but apparently not.
I didn't think she would qualify before I saw the performance. It wasn't about the performance, to be honest. It was about the reaction she got. People love her. I think people love the song. Like Olivia Rodrigo fans, Taylor Swift fans, like the song. You will never find an Olivia Rodrigo song or a Taylor Swift song in my playlist. So obviously I don't gravitate towards this, and her vocal performance was a little bit shaky. I'm not gonna lie. She was nervous. It's her first time. She's 17. But hey, I mean, good luck to Krista. She's a lovely girl. She's a really lovely girl.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She had me when she said Baby Lasagna should have won Eurovision last year. Although she's half Croatian, so I think it helps too. But she had me. She had me when she said that. I don't think she's gonna place high, but I think she's going to look back at this experience and say it was a good start.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mark Anthony Bartolo.
Also very bored. I don't know what it is about this guy that just captures PBS's attention every year. I don't know why. I don't find his music enjoyable, and that might be because of personal taste. I just think it's very boring. It's very dull. It wasn't a great opener of the show. I definitely think we could have had a much better opener for the show.
I think we need to get rid of this draw.
Yes, for sure. Yes,
like the opening and the closing is what people remember the most.
Exactly. Very boring opener. Did not like the performance. Definitely didn't think he was going to make it. I thought Dre was going to make it in his semifinal instead of him. But here we are. Good luck to him. I don't like the whole material in general. I just don't, with all due respect to him, I just don't like it.
I think this is his best song ever. The bar was on the floor, okay, but I think this is his best song ever.
See, the problem is I can't even compare because I don't remember his songs. That's how forgettable they are.
I think this is his best one. I did like the staging, but you know, the thing I love about Mark Anthony Bartolo is, again, he takes criticism like a pro, and he comes up to me and he tells me, like, listen, what do you think? Like, where do you think I can improve? And I just think he needs direction. He needs more direction. I think he needs a break from MESC for a little while, just to go back to the lab and really challenge his product and see how he can improve it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy he's in the final. I did think he would make it. I'm glad for him. He didn't think he was going to make it, and I was so happy that he made it. just because it surprised him. And yeah, I like the song more than the performance, I would say. Justine Sharford, X Factor runner-up.
See, I don't know why people are kind of, as in, I kind of actually understand why, but I think this song deserves a lot, much a lot. I think this song deserves a little bit more hype than it's getting, because I feel like it's going quite unnoticed. But I will say, and if I don't know if anyone has clocked, I don't know if anyone has clocked this, because I haven't seen anyone comment about it. But if you go and listen to the song again, after Still I Rise by Justine Sharford, go and listen to last year's Eurovision winner, The Code. And go and listen to the samples used in the tracks. They are the same. They are copied and pasted from The Code to Still I Rise. And it's more understandable because it is the same composer.
I was just about to Google it.
That is that type of, yes, it's Benjamin Alasu, the one who composed her song.
Benjamin.
Ooh, we need, we need answers. If you go and listen to Still I Rise, yeah, like, and I don't know how anyone didn't clock this, but there is that like sort of like kind of running / clapping sample in the back. It's like
the urgency of it.
It's the same sample as The Code. It's not even similar, it's the same. And I have clocked it because I've worked in music before. I don't know if anyone else has, but I did.
Aiden bringing us the tea. Thank you. I didn't realize, but now that I think about it, I'm like, oh my fuck. It is literally the same.
Yeah.
That's insane. I agree. That is insane. Yeah. Benji, we need...
Go!
I'm not sure if he's here, but Benji, we need originality, okay?
Go and listen to The Code. Go and listen to The Code and then listen to Still I Rise. You will notice it is the same sample. And I clocked it immediately.
I listen to Still I Rise, to be honest. I don't want to listen to The Code again.
Oh!
The Alchemists, they were up yesterday. I have to say, another one with Krista Shuyak, who I didn't think was going to get much. And I saw the reaction and I said, this is going to the final. And I'm glad I did, because it took my prediction from a 6 to a 7 out of 8. So... surprised. I personally can't stand the damn song. I cannot stand it. I feel like originality, well, it's funny we talk about it after Benji's crimes, but originality here is very, 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 very low. I heard a lot of people comparing it to Firelight.
Oh my god, that's what I was going to say.
Sorry, I took your line, boo.
No, it's fine.
I can't stand the song, but good luck to them. What do you think?
No, same. I think the song is very boring. As in, I did think that this was going to make it to the final yesterday. I was quite surprised with the performance. I think they did a pretty good job. Very boring, goes quite unnoticed. It will be in the final tomorrow and it will be unnoticed. Probably even in the running for the dead last spot. But
I don't think so.
I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you why. It's because people, for some reason, Maltese people love these kinds of sounds.
Yes,
like
yes.
Maltese people won't dig into rock. They won't dig into metal. But for some reason, they love a country bop.
Yeah. It's traditional. Yes. It does serve. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by the performance, but but to be honest, I'm not even going to say anything about that, to be fair, because I think even them as a band, they're doing Eurovision just to get a little bit of exposure. And if that's their way of getting exposure, then so be it, honestly. I'm just glad they reached the final. They're gonna, give out their material in the final of Eurovision. I personally don't think they care if they win or not. I think they know that they're not winning. I'm just glad they're in the final.
They're in it for the experience.
Yes, exactly.
That's most people, to be honest.
Exactly.
It's funny we mentioned that people didn't know them. When I posted so just before the 24 semifinalists were revealed, I posted who I think is going to be among them, and I included the Alchemists because I knew things. Let's put it. Let's keep it there. And people were messaging me like, "Who the hell are the Alchemists?" After they revealed them, they were like, "Who the hell are the Alchemists? And how the hell did you know they're gonna be there?" And I'm like, come on, guys, I'm a journalist. Like, yeah, I would. What kind of
Yeah,
journalist would I be if I would not be
yeah,
bringing you the stuff before you know it? And it's the
yeah.
same thing with. I think I was the first one who broke the news that the voting is going to be 50-50 because it's not always like this. We always know last minute, not even the
Yes,
artists
yes,
knew.
yes.
But people would tell me,
Yeah.
"How the hell do you know?"
I have
I'm like,
sources.
"No, I'm just a journalist." Raquela, say surprise finalist from the first semi-final. What do you think,
This is
Aiden?
your surprise finalist for the first semi-final.
Well, I wanted her to go through. Raquela used to
Mhm.
teach me back when I was a
That's
kid,
okay.
and
Uh-huh.
I know her. I know her personally. Lovely girl. Um, I just didn't think that the votes would come in, especially in that running order position. But I underestimated, just like most people,
Mhm.
how famous she is. Like she's a household name. Anyone remembers
Listen,
if I could do it all again?
yes, in 2011, right? That
I should
is
have won.
because I was going to mention it. 2011 is the first Eurovision I've ever watched. So as in, I know that Raquel has been competing in Eurovision for a while. Um, I had no doubt she was going to make it through, especially in semi-final one. I definitely thought she was going to make it through. I think the song is great. It's a really good powerhouse ballad. I think it fits her perfectly. I think that's her image as an artist. Definitely. Will it do great tomorrow? Probably not. But I just think it's a great addition to the final. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely think that it's great, and especially for who she is as an artist, I think the song fits her perfectly. I quite enjoyed her performance. I wouldn't say I was wowed. I wouldn't say I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is, but it was
Yeah,
enjoyable. I mean, it's a nice addition to the contest this year.
I like it. It's in my top 10, and I was happy it qualified. I was just surprised
Yeah.
that it did because PBS likes Haley Atsopardi. So I thought maybe the
Yes.
jury would gravitate off towards that like and she would
Yeah.
pull through. But
Yeah.
quite as it's kept, I can't stand that song. So I prefer her than
No, no, same. I
than
didn't like Haley's song this year.
whistleblower.
Yeah.
And Raquela has a great like. I think Victoria kind of outsold her on the vocals because Raquela's known for
Mm-hmm.
her flawless vocals.
Vocals, yes.
And I think Victoria might have outsold her, but still.
Mm-hmm.
One funny story about this after the semi, I was talking to John Paul from the Busker. He co-wrote the song,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy, John Paul!" But I didn't expect it. Um, and he told me like, "What do you think should like if we could make some changes?" I was like, "John Paul, El Beta, the nest. We gotta get rid of the nest." So Raquel, if you're watching this, beautiful curly hair, we don't need no nests in it.
We don't need the nest.
We
Take
don't
off
need
the
the nest.
nest.
And I say this out of love because I don't want to see you place low. I want to see
Yeah.
Raquel maintain her qualification streak. I don't know. No, it's not a perfect qualification streak. I want to see her do well.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Last one, another surprise finalist for me. I left these two surprises at the end. Martina Borch. Did you expect to see her in the final?
Yes, I thought she was gonna make it after
Okay.
yesterday. Yes, yes. As in, I definitely think she wasn't in the top five of the semi-final, far from it. But I did think that she was gonna play sixth or seventh in the semi-final. I know Martina as well. We also did the same season of X Factor together. She's such a sweetheart. That girl. She's such a sweetheart.
She's lovely. She's
Um,
so humble.
she's amazing. It's honestly quite a nice song and quite different as to what we usually hear from Malta Eurovision. I'm not gonna lie, as in it's kind of a little bit of R&B going on. So to be honest, like I really like the song. It Eurovision? No. But I think
Why?
it fits her
Why?
perfect.
Why? Tell me why. Why is it not Eurovision?
I think it's not Eurovision because I don't know, as in I think it's I don't like throwing around this word, but I think it's a little bit basic for it to be in Eurovision.
It's not competitive.
It's not competitive. So I think it is a little bit basic. But her as an artist and knowing her, what she can do as an artist, I think the song is perfect for her image as an artist. I think
I
she
agree.
really sells it. I think she really sells it well. And
she feels that as well. She feels that the song really brings out the best in her musical artistry.
It really does. It's not Eurovision, unfortunately. But listen, we know that in the season that we were in of X Factor, I think it was the lowest rated season of X Factor ever, season 4. It didn't really do well. So yeah. So
who won? Was it Richard or
Richard. I have no problem with my season of X Factor being the lowest rated. Thank God I don't want to be associated with that show.
Yeah. He said what he said. So, are you looking forward to come back into the X Factor, Aiden?
No, not at all. Season 5 applications will not be seeing me. No, not at all. So I'm glad Martina is kind of getting the not the popularity, but getting the exposure that she needs from Eurovision, because I know that our season of X Factor was rated very low and not a lot of people know her from X Factor. So I'm glad she's getting this exposure. And I think she's getting the exposure for the right reason, because the song, as you said, really captures her artistry. So I think she's really getting the exposure as to how she should be as an artist working besides Eurovision. So I love it, honestly. I'm really glad she's there.
Yeah, I feel you. It's not a competitive song. It's not immediate at all, but I'm happy for her. She's lovely. This is her first proper gig outside of X Factor. I want to pull up this comment we got in the beginning because someone told us the Dominic Chini lookalike was robbed, and we have discovered that person is Kurt Anthony. And I see it.
Oh my God! Yes, I see it.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh my God.
Yeah.
By the way, no, he wasn't.
Wasn't what?
He wasn't robbed.
I don't think so either. I told him that performance was giving me Michael Rice Bigger Than Us with the graphics, with the circle, with the backing vocalist going like.
Yeah. Nice performance in the semi-final, but stay in the
semi-final. Beautiful. I mean, it really elevated the song, in my opinion. It's just not what I come to Eurovision for. No. And I know you might disagree with me on this because I remember your X Factor 6-chair challenge, but I can't stand the John Lundvik of it all.
Wait, listen, but hold on. Wait, I think John Lundvik had one good song and he won Melody Festival. The song that he has this year for Melody, I don't like it at all. But I kind of like it when it's done right. So I think John Lundvik was great with that song, and I'm glad that he won Melody Festival in that year. But hey, that's up for debate. I love that song. I think it's so cool.
Anyway, we have talked about all 16 finalists and some of the semi-finalists. Thank you guys so much for watching. Aiden, who's gonna win?
Hi. I think
prediction. I know you want Miriana to win. That's it.
No, if I had to tell you personally, I would say Miriana will win.
But who do you think will win?
I see. Now I think this year we have a little bit of a scenario where I think the winner will be the second in the jury and the second in the televote, and it will be the winner at the end.
Compromise.
I think that's what. I think that's what will happen. I think Kantera are taking it.
It's a house united. I think Kantera are taking it.
I think Kantera are taking it.
I don't think it's going to be a compromise win, though. Who do you think is going to win the televote?
I think it will be played out like this. So I can be insanely wrong. So
that's why we're here. We're here to be wrong. Let us be wrong.
So before the live performances, I genuinely thought it was going to be a compromise vote, and I thought Kristy was going to win because I thought Miriana was going to win the televote and Kantera was going to win the jury, but Kristy will be second in both of them, and then Miriana will place like fourth in the jury, but Kristy would end up on top, and Kantera would place like, that's what I thought. Now there might be a compromise vote because I genuinely think JVF will win the televote.
Really?
I genuinely think JVF will win the televote. And I think second will be Kantera. Yes.
And who do you think will win the jury then?
And then the jury, that's when I could say that Kantera could win the jury. But I also, to be honest, I really kind of weirdly, I don't know why, it might not happen, but I think it also depends on the jury members that we have. But I kind of also really see Adria Twins winning the jury, yeah.
I didn't say this when we talked about Adria Twins. I think Adria Twins could qualify to the final of Eurovision and probably get us our best result because that song would place incredibly well in the jury and maybe not so well in the televote, but you know how the jury is in the final of Eurovision.
Yes.
Very influential. So they will put us up to like 15th or 16th. Kantera, I think, will be low in the jury and just about a bit higher in the televote. But Kantera, effectively, I think Kantera is going to win, by the way. And I think Kantera is going to win the televote tomorrow and potentially even the jury. But Kantera are going to have to crawl so that the next people can run. They're going to take the first ever fully Maltese song to Eurovision if they win. And people don't think about this, but Europe has expectancy for every country. For example, Spain. We've seen Spain can't do ethnic as much as they would like to. Blanca Paloma came last in the televote with a beautiful song. But other countries can do ethnic, Eastern countries, because people expect them to. People expect from Spain, for example, the Chanels, which is incredibly.
I was so pissed. Whoever of you did not vote for Blanca Paloma, you will be hearing from. I was so pissed. That song deserved much better.
Was it your favorite?
I just want to put that out there. No, it wasn't my favorite, but it was a really good song. I love that song.
It was my number one. It was my number one.
It was amazing. How did it place dead last? Anyways, whatever. Even Norway last year. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
But yeah, people have expectations. People have expectations from each country, and because we have been so inconsistent at Eurovision, people don't know what to expect of Malta. So I need Kantera to win to start setting the trend of musically, culturally representative music at Eurovision for Malta. But yeah, if they win, we'll talk about it in March. Aiden, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for
having
watching.
me.
We got a ton of views, so subscribe, come and watch my content. I'm gonna have more live streams and more reactions coming up for you guys. And yeah, let's get hyped for Malta Eurovision Song Contest 2025. I will be on the red carpet tomorrow, so some content from there. It's actually a blue carpet, but okay.
We change it up.
we will see you guys later on. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.